Hi guys, welcome back to Daniel's project and welcome to the third video of our Managing Fatigue and Recover from Training series. As I mentioned it in the second video, I guess, please watch the introduction video first before you watch this one, because this helps you to understand the bigger picture. You can find the link in the description box below. Before we start talking about nutrition and diet, I want to first dive deeper into a topic that most people often neglect, and this is drinking water. Most people these days who are doing physical training on a regular basis are so narrowly focused on how and what they should be eating, instead of keeping in mind that we as humans are like cucumbers. We are 60% water. So drink enough first and then focus on your diet. As a rule of thumb, if you don't include training or physical exercise in the day, you want roughly drink about 30 milliliters of water per kilogram body weight per day. So for example, my body weight is around 82 kilos, so I have to drink a lot of water. That's roughly 2.5 liters every single day. But because I train most of the days during the week, I drink more like 3 to 3.5 liters of water, sometimes tea as well. You really need to understand what water is to our bodies. First, it's a solvent medium for any nutrients. Second, it's a cooling medium for our bodies, especially I feel this in summer. After training, drinking a big glass of cold water is super nice. And third, and I think this is the most important one, water is a transport medium for any waste products, but also for any nutrients we take in with our diet. So I personally prefer drinking most of the water during the first half of the day. So between 8 and 2, I drink about 60% of my total water intake, and most of that directly after waking up, because as we all know, we lose a lot of water during our nights. If you think that you don't drink enough water every single day, try to track it for 2 to 3 weeks and then try to consciously increase your water intake over the next few weeks until it becomes a new normal. Honestly, at first I wasn't quite sure if I should make a video on this topic. Nutrition and diet is an extremely controversial one. I think nutrition is one of the youngest sciences out there. Different lobbies are manipulating and influencing research results and studies. And in general, it's quite a confusing topic for most people. With dozens of diet forms out there, several dogmas and ultimate truth, trillions of opinions, I don't want to talk about one truth or cite any research or any studies. Instead, I want to talk about principles that are detached from any diet forms and talk about my own experiences. So what I want to say, I don't care if you're a vegan, if you're doing a paleo diet, if you're a vegetarian, if you only eat fish, if you only eat veggies, or if you only eat fruits. It's totally up to you and it's totally individual. I've tried many diets by myself over the last few years, and all I can say is there's not one truth out there. There's only the one truth that you can find out for yourself. So try to find your own way and try to figure out what works best for you. That's the only way to go. I promise at least you know one person who is vegan and thriving on a vegan diet. You maybe know one person who's doing a keto diet and also thriving on a keto diet. And you have one person in your social circle who says like intermittent fasting is the best thing you can do for yourself. So don't get confused by the fact that some of these approaches to diets are extremely opposed. And so you might be thinking, why is this one working for them? And why is this one working for them? This doesn't make sense. I think this makes sense from one perspective, because when a person is following a diet, whatever this diet form might be, they become aware of what they are eating and how much they are eating. And with this awareness, they can control the food type they're eating and the food amount they're eating. These are two important principles that you need to know, and we get to the third one in a second, especially if you do some sort of physical training and especially in this context of recovery. In this chapter, I won't talk about protein, carbs and fat. Instead, I want to talk about some overarching principles that fit into any diet forms. To be honest and to give some credit, I got inspired by John Berardi, who is the founder or the co-founder of Precision Nutrition, the world's largest nutrition coaching company. So the first principle, and it's pretty basic, is food amount. If you burn more than you eat, you lose weight. If you eat more than you burn, you gain weight. It's simple as that. In regards to recovery and training, we want at least get enough calories in to help our body repair our damaged structures. So the second principle is the type of food. We want to give our bodies the right and high quality nutrients. Of course, the type of food you're eating is heavily dependent on the diet you're following. And I guess we are all different and we all have different body types. Some of us are taller and leaner and have long limbs, and some of us are more short and they have short limbs and they have a bit more body fat and they look like they are going to the gym every single day, although they haven't been to the gym in the last 2 or 3 years. So all I can say from experience is, listen to your body. What do you feel drawn to? What do you want to eat? Do you need more carbs or more fats or more protein? Usually people who are taller and leaner need a bit more carbs in their diet, and people who are a bit shorter and bigger, they need a bit more fat in their diet. And also for me, what I eat is heavily dependent on the weather conditions and the seasons. I mean, this might be pretty obvious to you, but I prefer some fruits with some cooling effects in summer and hot weather, and I prefer a hot chili in winter when it's really cold outside. Just try to listen to yourself and become aware. Do you rather prefer, for example, an oatmeal in the morning, or do you rather need scrambled eggs with some veggies in the morning? This is totally up to you. This is purely individual. You just have to find this out for yourself. The third and the last principle is food timing. Especially in regards to recovery and training, we want to have our biggest meal right after the training, then a medium meal afterwards, and a small size meal before the training. From my own experience, especially after some sort of high intensity training, for example, my strength training, I'm really craving sugars and carbs. So I usually eat some dates or make myself a smoothie, or I drink some apple juice, for example. After that, I make myself a big meal of whatever I have in my fridge. Usually it's high of carbs and high of protein. And then the medium and the small size meal afterwards, or maybe the next day, will be more like fatty based, because I really like to eat a lot of fats. As I've mentioned it before, please keep in mind that the field of nutrition is an obscure one. It is heavily based on individual opinions and some controversial research. What I want to say is, take nothing for granted. Try out some diets and different forms of nutrition and stick to those that works best for you. Honestly, this is the best thing you can do. Don't listen to anyone who's saying, this diet is the best, this is far better than this one, or this, or this, or this. I somehow hope that this video is not like a dogmatic one and you got some new experiences, some new ideas for your own nutrition, for drinking more water, and for your own recovery and your training. So as always, if you liked the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you want to support me, share this with others if this is somehow useful. And yeah, see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.